Today I'm going to show you some simple steps how to make sushi at home. This is what you need to make the sushi, and the rice being cooked now, so I just go through the thing with you. Seaweed sheet for the sushi, scissors, mat, sharp knife, sugar, sushi rice, salt, rice vinegar and oil. And with the mat, my advice is put a clean feel on it because all the rice will be sticking into there. You need 250 grams of rice and 330 grams of water. First of all, you wash the rice, rinse it out, give it a good scrub to get all the starch out of it, and then empty the water out. Do it about 2 or 3 times, or until the water is a bit more clear. As you see now, the water is quite clear, and you just leave it there to soak up for about 20 to 30 minutes before you cook the rice. Because that will give it time for the rice to absorb the water and make the rice a lot more softer. Right, after about 20 minutes or so, you pour the water away, and then what I do, I put it in a rice dish, and then you put 330 grams of water. And then you put a tablespoon of oil. Basically, when you're making the sushi, you do all the vegetable first. You prep all the vegetable. So you cut it, the asparagus more or less the same size as the sushi sheet. This is about the size of that. And it goes the same with the cucumbers and the carrot. So you get everything more uniform when you're actually making the sushi. Now we do the avocado, which you cut it all the way around first, and basically if you just twist, that will come off very easily, and then use the back of the knife, twist, and that will come off. And then you cut the avocado into quarters, and basically you should just be able to peel it off like this very easily. Once again, you just cut avocado. Right, we are having salmon. Those of you who are not very good on cutting up fish, I will advise you to get the smoked salmon. It's already in pieces. Right. It's very easy to get the skin off. See, that's done. So you want to be like finger size really to go on top of the sushi. So basically as I say, if you're using a smoked salmon, it's already in little slices, so it's a lot easier to work with. So all you need to do is cut them into small pieces. So you use that to put on top of the sushi. Don't worry about all this waste because you could put inside on your sushi roll. So you've got nothing to waste really. To make the sushi, there's no limit on what you put inside really. So whatever, if you just want to be a vegetarian, you just put just vegetable in. But mainly people like it with the seafood. So for you to enable to keep a palm straight when you're doing the sushi, so you just basically put the prawn on a skewer. Yeah. So once you cook them, it will be keep nice and straight. Now the rice is cooked. Basically you have to loosen it up first. For this amount, you need rice vinegar, roughly about 2 tablespoons. And then sugar, about 1.5 tablespoons. Salt, I would say about 1/2 tablespoon. And then mix well. Of course, the seasoning for the rice is up to you, really. You know how strong you want it to taste like, but always check. That's right. Okay. And then you shut the lid again and turn everything off and let it stand and mature for at least 20 minutes to half an hour, or until the rice is quite cool to handle. Okay? Alright, you get the vegetable ready. Asparagus, basically just blanch them in water. Probably take about a couple of minutes. You don't want to cook the asparagus too soft, otherwise you're not going to get the crunch of the vegetable. And you look at the colour of the stock. If it's still quite white, it's not cooked. Can you see now how it changed the colour slightly? Put it in water to cool down, and then now you cook the prawn. Can you see how straight the prawn is? Because you've got a skewer to hold it into shape. And now the prawns cooked. Once again, put it in water to cool down. You refresh the prawn and asparagus under cold water. When it's done, and the prawn, you just take it out the skewer. It's quite easy. But remember when you cut in the prawn, do not cut at the back. Try to cut from the inside. Just cut it slightly, a little bit, so the prawn open out when you actually making the sushi. Basically, you want it to sit onto the rice. The other alternative is you could use a knife just to slightly just flatten it a bit, so you get a more flatter prawn. Do you see what I mean? You know, the rice. So basically, it's always best to have a tub of water as well. So spread it out evenly. Don't press the rice right to the top, because when you roll it, the rice will come out and it get really, really messy. So if you're going to make a vegetable one, basically it's the same length of the sushi sheet. Avocado, cucumbers, and peppers. Sometimes if the asparagus is too thick, you can always cut it down to size, make it smaller. And then you pick up the end and then you tuck it in. You roll it up. As you press with your one hand and pull the mat with the others, and then turn it again, and again, and then both hands on each side, just tuck it in. Open it up. There you are, sushi roll. The other one is exactly the same, but you have the rice facing upward. So what do? Once again, once you're doing this, make sure you wet your gloves with it, otherwise it's going to stick. But with this one, make sure the rice go all the way to the top. Yeah, and then you turn it inside out. So, as I say, with the salmon, all the bits and pieces, right, you could use that, put it right in the middle. And you see I got some chicken croissant. Cut it into strip, put it as well in the middle, some peppers, avocado. Basically, you can put in whatever you wish to put in. There's no limit to it really. And then you could put a couple of prawns inside. And then you just pick the mat up, tuck it in again, and roll it over. Once again, tuck it, and roll it over. Right, on this one here, you could finish off with some sesame seed. You could have some black one, just sprinkle it on top, or white one, or mixture. Yeah. Right, up to one side. tidy up a bit, otherwise it's going to get really, really messy. Right, the next type of sushi I'm going to make. Right, you put it in your hand, probably about so much, yeah? You squeeze, you roll, you squeeze, you roll. And then remember the salmon, the smoked salmon I have cooked before. Basically you put it there. Right, there you are. Once again. Next one, we're going to do a prawn one. And this is why I say you cut it up from the inside. Basically you put it on top. Yeah. And there you are. Once again. Basically you use all the off cut from the sushi, so you're not really wasting anything really. And there you are. Right, to cook the sushi, make sure you wet the knife a bit. Basically, gotta cut all the end bit off so it's neat and tidy. Cut it in half. So basically try to get into the slim size. And then cut it in half again. And then half again. So each roll you should be able to get 8 pieces out of it. Then put the end piece off. Put it in half. Again. Again. Juicy. Wasabi and soy sauce. If you like the video, please give me a thumb up and subscribe. Thank you for watching.